Good afternoon, everyone. Futures Brizio here. It's just after 1 p.m. on Wednesday, May 21st. Hope everybody's doing great. And just making this video today. As always, before we get started, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and any questions, comments, leave them down below. It's been about a week since I made my last video. Because I was traveling, and I will be away again all of next week, and I will definitely not be making any videos during that time just because of where I'll be. So I will try to make one or two this week, but just wanted to just update on where the markets are and just go through kind of the current state of things. So again, any questions or comments, leave them down below. But without further ado, let's jump right in. We'll start with futures. So I started looking at corn. It's a great seasonal commodity to trade. I just opened this chart yesterday, so as you can see, I missed a really sweet downtrend here, but I think we certainly have begun to turn up, which is not uncommon for this time of year. This market has limited trading hours, so it's a little bit different than the normal stuff I trade. But you can see here on the 1 hour chart, again, we were making a very distinct downtrend. And you can see, price was being held nicely by the 100 period moving average. And then we kind of had a change right in here. We had price make this new low, retrace up, failed to put in a new low. So this was our first higher low. And we came up here and broke the moving average, which is not necessarily an indication of a trend change. Price certainly can break a moving average. I still go by, looking to the left at structure levels. As it turns out, this was probably our valid structure level. And as soon as this was broken. But you can see we made a few attempts to try to go lower, and we failed. And, then price definitely began to shoot higher here. And we began to put in these higher lows and higher highs here. For a period of time here, the moving average was kind of cutting through price, which is very common during consolidation and potential transition of trend. And you can see now the moving average is definitely bending upwards, and we've clearly broken all these highs, including even this major structure over here was broken. So whether you wanted to consider this down here after this point or certainly up here, we're certainly in an uptrend now. So bullish on corn. I'll be waiting for pullbacks. Basically, what I like to do is wait for the hourly chart, which is my primary chart. Sorry, guys, I had to pause the video for a sec. So yeah, basically what I'm looking for is, a pullback, get some bearish candles. I'll wait for the CCI to cross below the zero line, which gives me a nice firm pullback. And then once that happens, once we start seeing a pullback and we get the zero line crossed down, then I'll go to the 30-minute chart and I'll wait for the CCI to cross back above, get a close above the zero line. That's technically my re-entry. As long as I get a bull candle on that close, and it's not just like a little doji candle with big wicks. I mean, I want to see, these are Heikin-Ashi candles, so I want to see, a bullish candle, preferably with a flat bottom. It doesn't have to be a real big range candle, but, something other than just a tiny little doji candle, and certainly not a bearish candle. All right, and that's kind of my signal for re-entry. And as long as we, hold structure areas, then, I keep the low. So right now, this is kind of the new structure low here on the hourly chart. So as long as we hold this price here, then any pullback in here up to and including down to this level, but any pullback in here along with the CCI is how I time my entries. So bullish on corn, but no entry right now. Copper, it looks like I'm going to get stopped out. I did take a long on this position. Probably not a great trade. I only took one contract, so because basically we have sideways price action, but we did have this pullback here, and I got in really late, and it looks like it's going to pull back here, but I was hoping at least to get like a one-to-one move, maybe back up towards these highs, but we are kind of sideways ranging on copper for the last few weeks here. So it doesn't really surprise me that we just might stay range bound. And now that we've peaked over here, maybe we'll turn and come back down. So if I get knocked out of this trade, that's fine. I'm just going to leave copper alone until we kind of prove that we've established a new trend, whether it's up or down. As far as up, I'd probably want to see price kind of come and take out, these recent range highs right here. Have price break above here and have the moving average kind of clear out and start running under price instead of through it. But right now, there's not really much to do, and I'm just hold this. If I get knocked out, that's fine. So in which case, I'll just put copper aside until the trend starts to correct. And then in terms of natural gas, so we were trending down. We had this nice downtrend going. And I drew this box on here yesterday just to kind of delineate these two swing highs. And you can see we had this very aggressive move off these lows. Just one blue candle after another. Again, these are Heikin-Ashi candles, but this is very aggressive price action. But it failed to take out the structure level that I had drawn with this rectangle. You can see it came up to the first one here, rejected a little bit, came up, tried again, came up to this swing, and just poked through, and then, has closed back inside of the range here. So to me right now, this is kind of a little unsure. So I would either want to see a price break, a close above these highs up here, which would clear out this structure level, okay, and then turn and go higher, or a break back below this this little swing low that led to this high, close back below this moving average to resume the downtrend. So you can see it's really has done nothing in the last day or two. It's just kind of moved inside this range. So obviously there's a lot of attention at this area, between buyers and sellers, trying to fight for market direction here. So we'll see what happens, but there's nothing to do with this right now. And you can see the market's been very quiet today. It's almost no movement at all ever since it poked through up here. It's just been moving sideways ever since. So I'm kind of neutral on this right now until it proves out. And you certainly can't ignore this very aggressive bullish move up here. But until we take out structure, the moving average is just kind of a guide. I don't treat moving average breaks as trend change. It really is all about market structure. And the market structure is sitting right in here, whether it's this high or this one. To me, I didn't really count this one because it's so small. But, this could have been our structure break here. And, this is definitely an uptrend now. But we'll see. I mean, if it does turn up, you got plenty of room to buy in. So I would rather see it, take out either this high to go higher up or, to turn back lower and take out this low and get back below the moving average. So we'll see what happens with NG. And then oil is also kind of sideways right now. We did run up and make a new high yesterday. This is the hourly chart, but you can see the moving average is just cutting right through price. So this is definitely showing, a very sideways market. We did try to break lower here. We were going higher. We took out structure right here with these lows, and then we just kind of chopped. But we did actually run up and make a new high here, and now we've closed back inside this range. So you can see I've got this line drawn here. If we can, get a break below the wick on this Heikin-Ashi candle, then perhaps we'll resume this downtrend that tried to set up right here. If we look over here, if we put our cursor on this high, this previous high before we had this break right here, it does, suggest the price tried to run up through here and the close rejected and closed back down. So even though we did get a higher high up here, we did not get any close up here. So again, I'm neutral on this just because of the way the price action is looking, but I am more bearish than I am bullish on this, even though it made this new high, because it did reject back inside. This is very sloppy corrective price action, and we did have a very impulsive bearish move down that took out this swing on the hourly chart. So we'll see, but I'd like to see, this price start to at least form one, lower high and then start to move lower again. Something, where price kind of comes back up and, then we get a move back down like this. And at that point, the moving average would probably start to roll over and turn down. So I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but I have a little bit more bearish bias on this than I do bullish, just because of this move and this choppiness and this rejection up here. But but we are back inside the range, and that's where we sit right now. So I'm just keeping an eye on this one. However, though, if we do get bullish price action here and we get some aggressive bullish action back to the upside, especially off this level, then I would probably consider a long. So again, I'm neutral on it. I could see this, rejecting off this low and then get some strong bullish price action and have this shoot back up. But again, if it breaks lower and clears out this low that it put in here, that would certainly suggest lower pricing. So neutral on oil right now too. And so that's it for futures. Quick look over on Forex. U.S. Canadian was ranging. You can see we've certainly have broken lower today. I did not take any of this. This last swing actually happened early this morning before I was on the charts, and I just don't like jumping in on a move that's already happened. So if we get a pullback, and again another get the CCI to get back above the zero line, get a pullback, some green, some bluish, some bullish green candles here, CCI breaking above the zero line. Then again, I go to the 30-minute chart and I wait for that CCI line to cross back below the zero line, and obviously see some bearish candles forming in conjunction with that zero line cross, and that would suggest a good point to get in short. So we do have a swing low down here, so this would be a management point back at these lows. But if we get a nice pullback, that still would leave us some decent downside potential. That's still about 88 pips down to this area. So that's that. You can see I am long on GBP USD. Again, a little bit of a late entry just because of the time. But you can see we've been putting in higher highs, higher lows. We did get a 30-minute crossover on the CCI back to the upside right about here, and I got in slightly after that. And if you guys can hear hammering, I have somebody working here at my house, so apologize about that, guys. They're in the next room. It's bad timing. But anyway, so I'll hold this trade. If I peek up a little bit, we are taking out these highs right here. So I have to go up to a higher time frame, try to find a management place. And I don't really see it. I mean, the daily chart is kind of peaking out right here. But, I have to try to find a management zone for this long position. And, maybe like something back up here. I can't do it on the... let's see here. I've got to go back because it's too high of a time frame. Let me just do this. All right, now I'll go back to the weekly and see if I can grab this line, move it up to here. So, that's kind of a potential management area there. I have one full lot here, so that would be a good 2 to 1 risk to reward ratio. So, let's see here. That's it would be about $2,000 if it's profit. So it's almost a 7 to 1 risk to reward ratio. So we'll see what happens. As long as it can take this high out, which I think it will, then I think that this is a very comfortable management spot on the weekly chart. I mean, really the major swing is up here on the weekly, but I would take that to start and we'll see what happens. So overall bullish on the GBP USD. The U.S. dollar yen continues to make a beautiful downtrend. The only problem is all these entries keep happening when I'm not on the charts. So just looking at the time of these, well, actually not all of them, but I haven't taken any of these. Yeah, some of these are happening during the London session, which is unfortunate, but some of them are happening later in the day. So there's no entry right now, but again, I continue just to look for pullbacks. Even if it's a few candles. Again, the CCI has been a great tool for timing these re-entries. So again, what I'd be waiting for here is the CCI to get back above the zero line, see the green candle pull back, and then, see the CCI, cross back below the zero line, get at least one candle close below that, and then I would take a short just based on that. And then, management points, I think we'll get down to at least these lows down here as, a good management point. And, from where price is now, that's still 140 pips away. So that's plenty of room for me to take a trade. But there's nothing there right now. Aussie USD, I did have a trade on this. I closed it at these highs. It was a profitable trade. You can see it was right here. I got in here and out here. It has gone higher. But I don't really like this chart just because it is moving sideways. So, but now that looks like we've have taken out this high on this last rejection off this zone. Now that we've come up here, and if we take out this high definitively, which we're still technically sitting right at it, then I would probably have more of a bullish bias to the upside. But this is a very busy sideways price action, so it's not ideal. It's not like, dollar yen, which, is very nice downtrend. You can see the difference between, that and this, right? But if you're looking at dollar weakness, then certainly Aussie dollar should go higher. The Euro USD certainly in an uptrend. I was thinking about taking long this morning, but I just didn't like this price action here, and you can see it's really struggling to go higher. I would like a cleaner pullback like we had right here. This didn't really impress me much, so I didn't take it, and it really hasn't done anything. So I'd want to see a better pullback here. Same theory, pullback, CCI back below the zero line. Then I go to the 30-minute chart and I wait for that CCI to get back above the zero line, get some bullish price action on the candles, and then go long from there. But nothing to do with that today. This one's kind of interesting. This is GBP yen. You can see here we have kind of turned back down here. We are putting in lower highs. We do have the moving average crossing down. We do have this pullback currently that could be ending, right? We had this pullback, staying below all these swings. And if we go to the 30-minute, we'll definitely have a CCI cross. Well, actually, we don't quite have it yet. So maybe at the close of this candle closes in 5 minutes. So this is an active trade right now that I might take just because of what I'm seeing right now. So, yeah, let's see how this candle closes. But this is the only one that I can, think about maybe taking now. Euro AUD, you can see I had a long here. I closed it for a very small profit because I didn't really like this price action. This is a lot like the Aussie USD where it just had this really sloppy sideways action, and then it tried to go higher. It barely did and closed right back. So, we certainly are. But this is definitely a more volatile pair to trade. It's not a major. It's a major cross. It's two major currencies, but it's considered a cross pair since it doesn't have the U.S. dollar in it. But so, anyways, I am bullish on this, but I'd love to see a cleaner pullback and then push higher. I mean, technically, we have that right now where we've got the on the 30-minute chart. We have this crossover right now. We did actually get a false move right here on these two bullish candles. Then price rejected and went back down again. But now we've tapped into these previous lows, and it looks like we're trying to push higher. But you can see price is struggling. Again, these are Fibonacci candles, so the wicks are not quite like regular candlestick wicks. But this still is moving higher. And if I turn on the candlesticks, you can see it is going higher. So this is another active potential trade. So between the Euro AUD long and the GBP USD short, those are ones, even though it's time of day, I might still consider. But yeah, we'll just see how these candles close in the next 3 minutes here on the 30-minute chart, and then I'll make a decision. I don't know if I'll still be recording here because I'm pretty much done. But let's follow this, all right? So I just said, potential short on GBP yen and potential long on Euro AUD is what I'm looking at. Again, do your own research. Make your own decisions. Don't take any trades based on anything I'm telling you. It's just for informational purposes only, and I'm just looking at just what's on the chart and just technically reading what it's doing. So, all right. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. I hope everybody has a great rest of the day. I will try to come back tomorrow to make another follow-up. As I said, I will not be around next week at all making videos. I will be keeping an eye on the charts, but it's going to be a vacation basically, so I'm going to be pretty busy, so I don't anticipate I'll have a lot of chart time next week. So I'm not going to bother, making any videos unless there's something just beyond that I have to talk about. So, but I don't even know I'm going to take this computer. I may take my travel computer, which I don't have the software on there, in which case I definitely won't be recording any videos. So, but anyways, we'll keep an eye on things. And I hope that was helpful. Again, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Hope you have a great rest of the day. And talk to everybody soon. Okay, thanks.